Alright, bros, little Honda bros, big Porsche uncles. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heads up that you can hear me. It looks like we have a stable stream. I'm doing this out in the wash bay. I actually send the info goes out over the nano beam, so I don't want to. I'm gonna pause the video feed, but I don't want to have it crashing the whole time before we dig into this, because I'm gonna wash the whole darn RS. Let's see. Give me a comment here, a few people. We're good to go. The audio's good. All right, thanks. All right, so what I'm going to do is, it's going to be super yellow out here because of how bright it is outside. I mean, it's the middle of the day in Florida, so it's crazy, crazy bright. But I wanted to talk you through the RS and what's been done to it, how it's finished. This is my first wash and first experience with Dyno STEK, which is the paint protection film, as well as Gtechniq Halo. So those are two new things on here. And I'm going to do the wheels. The wheels haven't been cleaned yet, so this will really kind of be the first wash of the car with it being dialed in. I've got a couple of other little things to show you. I'm going to show you, I want to experience the Prevost little garden hose sprayer thinger to see how that works. We'll do that after we wash the car, and we'll see what else we can get into. I always have something I'm working on. So I'm going to leave the computer sitting here. This little stand is stupid. It's like a little TV tray thing, but you can't lean your arms on it. It's too flimsy. So anyway, the camera angles aren't going to be great because I'm limited, because this all has to be plugged in. The computer has to be plugged in. The HDMI cord has to be run to the C200, and then the C200 has to be plugged into the wall. So I'm kind of going to be stuck on the left and right side of the car. But you guys always ask me to do this stuff, so we're going to fumble through. You can start your stopwatch to see how long it takes me to wash the darn car. So let's get set up. It's going to be fun. Just going to have to drag this stuff around all over the place. Zoom in a little bit here. Let's bring a little ISO so you can see me. There we go. Autofocus is good. Should be on face detect. All right, let's get our foam cannon set up, our wash pads set up, then we'll go out and do the wheels. If you haven't seen this, this is the funnel. So the quick disconnect funnel, which is, kind of cool. Certainly unnecessary, but isn't pretty much everything I have out here unnecessary? Couldn't you wash a car in a driveway and probably do it in half the time if you're doing it like a regular person? So what I've been doing is just fill the funnel all the way up with the really thick soap, and then let it kind of seep in on its own. That's right at about 150 milliliters. And then I slop this on here. So this is a Griot's Garage little spout thing, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's okay, but I don't know. I prefer generally to just use the gallon as is. All right, that's flowing in there. I found that it's not really a big deal. It works pretty well to just set it there and let it soak in. Some people were talking about some sort of relief vent. If the soap wasn't so thick, it would flow right through. And if I took my time, it would I'd be able to put it in easier. But with the soap being so thick, yeah, see, it's a little bit short of 150 milliliters. So I think what we should do in our calibration of the funnel is to have it so that when you fill it up to the edge, that's 150 mLs, and then we wouldn't have to do any measuring or any additional soap to get it up to the third line of the foam cannon container. Anyway, something to think about. All right, let's go out here. Ian, happy Father's Day to you too, man. Thanks for the super chat. This is going to be fun. I'm gonna figure out how to get some huge like display and figure out how to live stream really efficiently, because I think live streaming is gonna become more and more of a thing that we do, or I do, and so I'm gonna build a darn rig and set it up so where I can just show up, read the comments, have them scrolling, and man, it would be so much better if we had gigabit. If I had gigabit up and down, then I could run 4K live streams, but I just don't have that here where we live. I should move just for the live streams. All right, so let's get our wheels done. I'm gonna have to adjust ISO on the fly while dealing with all these cords. This is not as easy as it sounds. So I need to bring our ISO down to 160. Bring some slack out here so I can move this over, and we're gonna do the wheels first as usual. I'm gonna do a full wheel cleaning. There we go. I think you can see that. A little shadowy on the wheels. Let's go one tick up on ISO. Okay, cool. And let's come in a little bit. We'll get our seat. And we'll go to it. Let me bring my HDMI over here. A little bit more slack. Cool. All right, so let's do a wheel setup. Yeah, I don't like to put water in the bottle first. It's harder to get an accurate measurement, I find. All right. So these are Vossen S21RS wheels. I know everybody's freaking out, all the Porsche purists. What are you doing, Vossen? They're junk. You know, I've had the ones on the Corvette I really liked them. And so when I saw these wheels come out, they were the first aftermarket wheels that I'd considered for the RS. And because I had the green stripe, it just made sense to get something different. And so here we go, we got it. Well, that's interesting. This pocket shoots right out into my face. So with carbon ceramics, you always want to blow them out well with with our pressure washer. That way they don't get squeaky. This is like 60-40, 60% PNS brake buster, 40% water-ish. The nice thing about this is you notice it still foams even when sitting in water for weeks at a time. And then we'll use the Incredibrush. This is still my original Incredibrush that I've never washed outside of just doing this. It's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, this is cool. This is my first time cleaning these wheels. So they have Gtechniq Crystal Serum Ultra, which is the pro version, and then has 2 coats of XO V4 as a topper. And then we go easy detail. I can get in behind the caliper as much as I can. You could just use the easy detail on the whole barrel of the wheel. I don't know. It's just like I like to do it this way. The caliper as much as we can, and then go and hit our fender well. I can't close the doors because, let me at least close this one halfway, because I got power cords everywhere. Turn my table around here so I can see the stream. Make sure we're good. The way people can tell me what's going on. That's a little better with the sound. Lambskin mitt, it's probably about time for me to replace mine. Usually replace it once every 6 or 7 months, something like that. They're 10 bucks a piece, so not a big deal to replace. Oh yeah, these are gonna be really easy to clean. Put in this little pocket here, get in there. Always got to develop a new wheel cleaning procedure depending on when you get a new set of wheels, at least I do. What's the method? Yeah, I'm gonna want to try to close that door a little bit more. And then we'll just do the face. I got new center caps. They're silver. Got rid of all the greenness. I think the green would be fine out here. I don't like wheel stripes. The green would be fine if I had green calipers, but green and red is no good. Little straight up brake buster. Tough Shine tire brush. Again, I talked about this a lot, but I have the OG tire dressing on here. I don't really have the need to strip the tire dressing. I just want to clean the surface dirt, and then we'll reapply the tire dressing after we're done washing the whole car. I'm interested to see what the water behavior is like on the Halo STEK and how it holds up and all of that. Let's bring this. All right, you guys are going to be kind of stuck here in the corner while I'm working through the car. I'm going to try to zoom in a bit. And I know it's going to be super yellow because of how bright it is out here. But I think this should work. You guys still here? Let's look at live chat. What's up, Dallas? Hello from Vancouver, Kurt. Let's see. Okay, good. Stream's still looking good. Cool. You know, because I don't have lines, I don't have physical Cat 6, Cat 5 or wire run out here. I've got a beam, the Ubiquity Nano beam that runs out. So get about 500 megabits download, about 40 up out here. So we should be good on the stream. Oh, I just put my Ubiquity cameras in. I haven't set them up yet, but I installed them. Yeah, I've permanently transitioned to this foam cannon method. Like so. Works pretty well. Now on this giant rear wheel, I just use the Easy Detail because of how deep this is. It's a 12.5-inch wide wheel. And because we've got it, the whole barrels and everything coated, all I really need to do is just agitate. Don't give me into that touchless bull crap. Touchless doesn't frickin' work. You're wasting your time. You can't touchless wash your car. Well, you can. It's just not, you're not doing anything. Well, I can use the snow foam and nope. Doesn't work, bro. You gotta wash it. So the RS, again, the process was to paint correct it, remove all the emblems and all the badges and all the sticky crap from it. It took me 6 months longer than I normally would. Notice how the Civic got dialed in like the first frickin' few days I had it. And then the RS took a back seat for a while. But we got it done. And the reason for that is because the RS process doing PPF and everything is so much more robust. So much more had to be done to get it there. So first thing was to get the wheels, and we got the wheels coated, set up. Then we deconned the car. Had Billy come up and did a collaboration series with him. Shipped the car down to Tampa. Got the PPF installed. After the PPF was done, then Billy did Halo on all of the PPF surfaces. Did Crystal Serum Ultra on the trim and the jams and like all the plastics. Actually, I take it back. On some of it we did Ultra. Some of it he did Ultra Halo, Ultra Exo, and then on like the main big bulk areas of plastics, like underneath the front trunk area, the frunk area, he did Exo V4. His video should be up today or tomorrow, showing all that process. But we did PPF on every painted surface, so the whole exterior is done. And we're gonna find out how it turned out here in a minute. So I haven't really analyzed it yet. Let me clean the exhaust tips real quickly. Gosh, I'm in love with these wheels, man. In love with them. I find this this variant of the 991, this variant of the engine doesn't really have much. Don't burn much oil. You can tell because my exhaust tips are super clean. All right, let's switch the camera. I hit some nasty thing that blew up and got black stuff all over the side of the car. You guys still here? All right, good. Yeah, everybody's still here. 400 of you here. This is awesome. I'll come back and answer questions after we get the car done and play with some of the new gear that I got. Funny, we had a few new people from the Civic. Sorry, this angle is gonna be a little weird, but this is all the slack that I got. And yelling at me for doing wash and talks. Let me come up a little bit. Gosh, it's hard to explain how hard this is to do, to get you involved in this. I'm gonna figure out how to have some little device where I can toggle from camera to camera and have them all in the corners. Something crazy. Why the heck not? I'll figure it out. These wheels are good, man. I really dig them. Yeah. I'm gonna be selling me some Vossens for people. They're a couple pounds lighter than stock. The concave in the rear is awesome. I was afraid because the front they're pretty flush, pretty flat. Not a long concave, so I thought they were gonna look weird. Because in some photos they look a little off, but in person they look fantastic. Always got to be different. I have such a hard time doing what everybody else does. Sometimes, most of the time. I was never in love with P101s on this car, or R101s. And I was never in love with BBS FIRs. And I like BBS FIRs, but I don't know, they just never excited me to spend 10 grand on a set of wheels. And Vosson's come a long way from the beginning douchiness of how they used to be. I think they've, kind of changed a lot of the people that work there, and a lot of good dudes seems to work there. All the ones that I've met, they're less Miami douchey than they were when they first came out, trying to compete with like ADV.1 and all the other odd wheel companies that seem to be more interested in flash than the actual car enthusiasts. So they've kind of come around, and some of the designs I really like. This being one of them. But none of the other designs that they had worked with the RS, I didn't think. I didn't like how any of them looked. And so when Tag Motorsports, this is kind of their collaboration with Vosson. And they had a set in stock. I bought it. So I've been talking to Hunter. You guys will be excited about this. I've been talking to Hunter here locally of Hunter Road Force, Hunter Mounting Balancing. So I'm going to be getting a Hunter Revolution tire mounting system, and then a Hunter Road Force, a G-Force, I think a G-Force Road Force. I forget what the model number's called. But I'm going to be getting them soon. I just don't remember where to put it. So we're working on the plans. The plans have been ordered for the OG distribution, if you will. That's my other building where the gym was. So what my vision is now is to have a Hunter alignment rack, and then Hunter tire mounting and balancing machines. Because my long-term vision was to be able to offer those to you that are building garages, the like big fancy garages, to have those. I want to be a representative and dealer for those mounting balancing machines. At least that's the goal. We'll see if I can make that happen. I think I can. Let's get a little tighter on the wheels. Remember, with carbon ceramics, it's important to kind of blow it out. Not so much the water volume that matters, it's more of just the air you're moving to get all the dust out of there. Oh, the other thing that Billy did that I'm interested to see how I like it is he did G1 on the windows. Gtechniq G1. So the RS is looking good. The Civic just went up to Boston to get stereo done. Talked about this in the last video. Yes, the stereo cost 17 grand. Yes, I paid 3,000 bucks to ship it up there. Yes, there are installers around here. But remember the Civic. Remember the deal. I bought the Civic at paying a lot for it, buying all these different wheels and tires, trying to figure it out, putting together this whole package, figuring out how the car, needs to come together. It's going to take me quite a few iterations of things. Doing the B18 swap. The wheels aren't the wheels that are on it look a little goofy. The stereo I wanted Illusion subs, Dyno audio separates, and I wanted to do the Dyno audio stuff, I wanted to do it in the kick panel, so I need to get full custom kicks made. And you know, car audio for me is very style specific, and so the folks at Sound in Motion I've done a lot with in the past, or at least we did my blue RS, and I talk to them all the time. They're friends of mine now, Derek and Jim from Sound in Motion, and they just have the right style. The style they have is the same style that I have, and so it's worth it to me to send it up there. Yeah, it would still cost $1,000 to ship it over to Naples or somewhere else. And it cost me another couple $1,000 when I'm in it that deep. That the Moscone amplifier that I'm doing is $2,000. You know, the separates are another $3,000. The woofers are what, $500 or $600 a piece. And then the processor and the head unit's $1,500. So you can see it all adds up, and then the bulk of the install is going to be labor, because we're going to do very OE-like custom, very much like what I did back in the day, or tried to. I'm just asking for a little bit of leeway, a little bit of faith on how this thing's going to come together. Because I think it's going to come together real nicely when it's all said and done. And then remember, I'm going to give it away, so I'm going to make a bunch of money on it. If I spend 17 grand in a stereo, I'm going to get that back. You'll see. By the way, the RS has been parked in the car capsule outdoor over there for a month or so. It's worked out pretty well. All right, let's rinse the car, get the camera set up a little better here. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Your angle's not terrible, even with the wires hanging. What do you guys got to say? Anything? Yeah, connection still looks good. There's 500 of you in here watching. That's pretty cool. Happy Father's Day to everybody. As many of you know, I'm not much of a happy anything kind of day kind of guy. A day to me is just another day, but anyway. Maybe I shouldn't be such a darn Scrooge. Such a curmudgeon. Tell you, the guy who came with the idea to put the line on here is a freaking genius. All right, let's do our first test of water behavior here. Oh yeah, looks good. So much more enjoyable having a car that's dialed in. So I put a Ubiquiti 360 cam up here, or like maybe it's a 180 cam. I think maybe it's 360. It'll show this, and then there's one showing the run up to the driveway. I love washing a corrected, protected car. So much better. Telling you, I don't care how thick or thin the PPF is. This PPF looks so much better than anything else on the market. It's not even close. So we did a double, not we, Ryan, did a double tearaway here. So, or a double sheet. So that way if it gets beat up, we can do a tear away. We can tear it away and start fresh. So good. It's clean. That's all you need. Just foam it, rinse it, done. It's got coating on it, so it's good to go. All right, let's get our rinse and wash bucket set up. Turn this sucker. Turn it so you can see what I'm doing. There's ants climbing around on my camera. Get out of here. Hole. All right, let's see. Ugh. The only reason I dilute brake buster is because I don't need it to be super strong because my wheels are always coated, and so I don't feel the need to use it straight up in the foam cannon anyway, but you can. You're right, it is cheap enough to just throw it in there and use it that way. All right, take our funnel right there. I only need about another 600 milliliters of water because the RS isn't particularly large. Go. Making some progress. Take my cap, put it on, flip it around. I think we have more of these coming here shortly, so for those of you who want one, we'll have them soon. The other thing I planned on doing here today, which I don't think I'm going to have time, I was out here piddling around installing the cameras. And then I was rewiring some stuff, zip tying up some stuff. But I plan to pull the M3 out, pull the car capsule over, and do a post-spring cleaning of it, get all the pollen and stuff off it. It'll clean up and look brand new when it's all said and done. All right, let's foam the car. Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if I had a live stream rig where I could be in real time answering questions while I'm working? I just can't see it. I'm starting to dream about revamping the wash bay here, but we got to get through all the Milwaukee stuff. Then we're finishing up, we're redoing the home theater right now. We're putting a projector in. Finally decided to try a projector that I know I'm going to immediately regret doing. Working on the distributed audio. I'll give a tour of all that stuff soon when we get it done this week. Oops. All right. Nice and foamy. Let's get our rinse or wash bucket set up. Yeah, funky little angle here. Looks like Bryce is in there. Somebody's in there moderating you goofballs, making stupid comments. Thanks for whomever's in there, Bryce. All right. Yeah, I think live streaming for me is going to be more something I do more often. And if I get the rig, if I get it set up well, then I can run it at better hours for you guys, where I don't have to run it with when all the people are at HQ working. And, the times to do it are at night and weekends when you guys are available. But then again, the live stream lives on YouTube, so. Tell you what, this freaking as seen on TV ultimate hose nozzle thing has been freaking great. It's working fantastically well. So that's why I trust my gut on things. Don't listen to people who tell me what to do. Okay, let's get ready to wash. Gosh, this car looks so cool. It's so good. Yeah, and it's not particularly dirty, but this was my goal, to get to the point to where I'm washing a car once a week as preventative, rather than letting it get so gosh darn dirty that it's a mess. Oh yeah, Ryan did a good job. It's tucked under there, so I'm not going to grab that. It's tucked in here, so all the edges aren't going to get lifted. That's good. Love it. I'm having all the trim done, mirrors done, the windows done. Yeah, so seeing this STEK film, I'm gonna do PPF on the GT4 as well. But I don't know, man. I'm thinking about what to do about, like right now I have two cars. The Civic just went up to, the Civic doesn't really even count as a car for me. It's more of a project, just a short-term project. But, I've got the M3 plus this. I'm gonna have the GT4. There's something real settling and nice about having like this car and one other car, keep them clean all the time. I can wash the Raptor, keep that up to date. And I don't know, to me it's just a better way to live than having too many cars that are all jacked up. So I'm kind of thinking about what I want to do. Should I sell the M3? I mean, we all know I'm going to want another M3 someday. So I'm not sure what to do. I'd like to be playing with the Milwaukee stuff here today, but I took a little break from it. So we can start shooting those videos Monday, tomorrow. We'll start shooting the breakdown. I think Mike is coming down. I'm gonna bring him in to help me go through all of the like carpentry and construction type tools. I may talk my friend Chris into coming over and see if he'll get a couple of real men to come over and help analyze some of the like table saws and stuff like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. It'd be valuable to me to pick their brain on it, and then by proxy, hopefully, of value to you. So, thinking about doing something like that. It's freaking hot out. Really hot. It's about 92 or so, and pretty darn humid. Gosh, having a car protected. Yeah, you did a good job on all these edges. Nice and well done. And having all the plastics coated keeps them nice and clean and rich looking. I don't want shiny trim. Getting rid of the stupid Porsche logo sticker, to me, is freaking awesome. It's like one of my favorite things. Not having the GT3 RS badge on the back. It's partly my favorite because it hacks people off, but it's mainly my favorite because it just looks so darn clean. Everybody knows it's a freaking GT3 RS. Anybody who matters would already know. So, I can't edit out any bad washing technique here. And, PPF doesn't give you carte blanche to just wash however you want, because you can still jack that up. So you still want to wash it the same, take the same care as you would with paint. Actually, paint is probably more durable than the PPF, so we want to take care when doing that. And of course, we're going to top the PPF with Bead Maker. I think Billy's already done a wash. I think he's already topped it with Bead Maker. I'm not sure though. I forgot to ask him before I made this video. Yep, the halo on PPF is good. I was afraid it wasn't going to be very hydrophobic. It wasn't going to be as slick, but it feels just like CSL XO or CSU XO. I like it a lot. The only thing I'm not in love with is the rear bumper. Ryan doesn't like to take he doesn't want to take the car apart if he can help it. And there's a clear line here on the rear tail lights. That's part of their sort of expanded template. I'd really like to take the tail lights out so I can see that line. Other than that, the install looks pretty darn flawless. I'm really pleased. It helps to have a specialist. I mean, these guys do a lot of 911s. Okay, just got this side to do. clarity, peel. Other than the edges, you'd have a hard time telling this had PPF on it. Unlike having STEK or XPEL that has a whole nother layer of orange peel. I don't know what the heck I hit here, but some black funk all up the side of the car. But it's coming right off. Nice. I don't love the black door handles. I'm so glad that I actually bought the, I gotta sell it, but I bought the big giant GT3 RS thinger. Maybe I'll stick them on one day just for the fun of it. But I was thinking because of the black door handles that I needed it. But after I got the car all dialed in, I decided not necessary. Okay, that's it for that. Let's rinse it. I gotta get new DI filters. I'm gonna chase deionization soon because the CR is basically useless out here with this setup. Yeah, STEK and XPEL have like 150% more orange peel. XPEL more than STEK. Yeah, this film is clearest, most paint-like looking film by a long shot. All right, let's rinse it off, blow off all this crap. You guys get to see the whole rinsing process. I always edit this part out. Yep, halo's good, real good. Again, people get so excited about just beading and water shooting off. There's a delicate balance there. Like I did a can coat on the M3, which I'll wash soon on video. I think I'm probably gonna hate that. But we'll see. It's not past judgment until we've used it for a while. So this is one GT3 trick. Turn your mirrors upside down. It's better to kind of lean into them. That way they drain out. The other GT3 trick is to blow out any leaves or anything that way. And then to get rid of all the extra soap, come in here like this. And then go like that. Come back in again. And we're rinsed. What do you got, Shelly? You want to be on the live stream? We're live.
On which camera?
On that camera.
What's your order?
564 people live.
Quickly, what's your sushi order?
From where?
Well, it's up to you. It's Father's Day. Your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
For how many people?
Just us and Ben on drop-off.
So we need 26.
Don't order for 50 people. It's only 4 of us eating sushi.
Okay, so we need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 rolls. So we need 2 Lobster Fantasy, 2 Super California, 1 Pink Maki.
Hold on. Cheese 2 Lobster Fantasy, 2 what?
Super California,
Okay. Okay.
1 Pink Maki.
Uh-huh.
How many is that? That's 5. Do 1 Dragon. Do 1 VKI. Do 1 Gazala. How many is that?
I think that's not 8.
Oh, and do 1 more Super California.
All right. Do you want me to bring it down?
Yeah, clear soup. All right, back to work. Now let's dry it with our little thinger for Michelle to tell the most embarrassing story. You won't be able to hear, she doesn't have a mic on, so. OGSpec sushi order. Yeah. Father's Day sushi. All right, let's blow this thing off. I gotta see where David Beaver's at with this prototype thing. We haven't talked a little while to see where he's at. Ooh, yeah. He's blowing off nicely. Did you ever think you would, on a Sunday afternoon, sit here and watch some dude wash his car live? I think it's cool. We wanted to take off this and have it painted black, this stupid wart, but because the roll bar, the headliner has to get dropped down, and the roll bar made it too much of a pain, so I just said scrap it. And we don't do wrap. Wraps are for babies. I'm not doing that on my car. I'm not vinyl wrapping anything. Pretty darn legit. Get some towels. So, crap, I keep forgetting to bring a gallon of bead maker. I hope I have enough. Should be okay. So, if I could move the camera on, I would show you. You have to remember that white car, PPF on white, is not what you hope to have. So, and I said this when I got the car back from Esoteric for the first time. They did a great job. I was pointing out some of the things you have to prepare yourself for, and I don't know, they got all butthurt, but apparently they wanted me to pretend like, I don't know. But you have to remember that on a white car, you're going to start to see dirt build up. It's white, and you have an edge, and there's adhesive on that edge, and there's really nothing you can do about it. So if there's any little imperfection, so when you get PPF done, doesn't matter how much money you spend, no matter how good somebody is, there's always going to be, you're going to see the PPF in certain areas, certain spots, and there's no way around that. So I say that to prepare you. Now, would you rather have a bunch of rock chips, or would you rather have a few little spots that you can see on the PPF? And it'll get worse as it gets older and as you rub on it more. And that's just the way it goes. So this is my second go at PPF. I've never been a huge fan of it. I'd always rather have just clean paint, that's been corrected and coated. But, this car goes to the mountains, although this one hasn't been to the mountains yet. But I take it to the mountains, and we're riding behind people often, and you're getting pelted. And so you take the good with the bad. I like having the protection on the car, even though it's kind of pointless, because I end up selling the car at 5,000 miles anyway. So yeah, there's a little bit of extra texture, but considerably less than you get from other PPFs. There's no question, absolutely no question to me. If you're going to get your car done, go find somebody that uses STEK, because it's better. It's just better. Looks better. Now, if you're a track guy, you don't give a crap, you just want thick as possible, then just go get some 10 mil thick, hideous looking PPF. You can do that, because if you're not too concerned about the condition of the paint. Then I would argue, if you're not too concerned, what do you care? Unless you're just planning to dupe people and pretend like you weren't driving around at the track for the life of the car. I don't know, I would much rather have it look really good. That's, to me, is the point of the paint protection film. Because I'm not particularly interested in, I've learned my lesson of worrying about the next guy. Worrying what the next guy is going to think, the next buyer. Resale value, I just have to worry so much about that. And then I realized, what do I care about what the next guy thinks? It's going to be way better than what they were going to do to it, so I decided probably 6 or 7 years ago to just do what I want. Chances are it's going to be a little bit more extreme than what the next guy's going to even care about. Certainly a dealership. It gets so sad when I'd hand over the folder of all my meticulous notes and spreadsheets, and they say, "Oh, we don't want that, you keep that." Like, well, no, you need this. It's like, we don't want that. so I stopped doing that. Now, I have a bit of an advantage in that all these cars have a video live documentation of their care from the date of ownership till the date of sale. So that, it does provide me a little bit of an advantage, but yeah, good job, Ryan. Good job. Good job. So the key with a white car and PPF is don't go there. Don't start micromanaging it, because it's going to drive you freaking nuts. Just accept for what it is, assuming it's not a terrible install. You just accept it for what it is and know that it's going to be, you're going to eventually, see some imperfections in it. So I sprayed the front clip, sprayed the top quarter of the car, if you will, and the wing. This is normally how I dry it. So now you'll know that I'm not editing a whole lot when I'm doing the videos. I'm just cutting out some of the dead space. Yeah, this is my first full wash bay wash live stream ever. It's kind of cool. Welcome. Yeah, on the black, I mean, we can see the PPF a little more. On the white, it looks fantastic. So there's not an addition of orange peel. There's a little bit of kind of waviness to the film. It's just a very different film than any of the other stuff out there. God dang. The window tint has a bunch of dust spots on it. I don't know if we can get past the roll bar in there to fix it. So we're going to test out Billy here in a minute. When I look at the underneath there, and the door jams. I'm going to see if I'm yelling at him or not. See if he slacked on me. Billy, if you're in here, you're either sweating or you're not. So I can get the lion's share of the car done with 2 towels. I find that midday humidity isn't as bad as late day humidity, like nighttime, for wiping. And you want to make sure so you don't end up with streaks. Just, you know, with Bead Maker, you just have to make sure you wipe it dry. Especially on the glass. Otherwise you'll see your white marks. G1's pretty slick. I've only used it once before, so instead of doing woofs, I just had Billy do G1, just so I can compare it. I feel like it's streaking a little bit more than what I'm used to. Okay, wipe this side. Did I already do this side? No. There's one little spot here that's kind of lifting up. See if I can get it pushed in. I think we're good. Yeah, I love this car. Have I said that before? I just do. Even though I can't drive it, but around the block, I think I'm gonna have to go back on some drugs again. It's freaking stupid. Can't drive down the road in my car. Yeah, the G1 isn't taking the Bead Maker as well. I'm having to keep wiping it. Let's see. Oh, the other bad news is that I can't see it out here, but under the right lights. They must have put the Porsche emblem on before the clear, off-gassed or cured, because that adhesive was not coming off. And when we did get it off and polished the heck out of it, after the paint was done swelling, you can see the outline of Porsche on it. That's disappointing. Even through the PPF. This isn't doing so well here. Let's pop the trunk. So all the flex stuff is ordered. So I'll have a little bit of a revamping of the polishing platform on the website. Adding a couple of tools, subtracting some tools, you know, simplifying it a bit is something I'm going to be working on here. But the little atypical, the flex stuff that I'm interested in is a little less typical than even what they would recommend and how they use it. Yeah, the bead maker is not doing well with G1. Just keeps smearing around. Works great on wolves. Get this fresh towel here. Might polish it off and redo it. Just not doing well. It's the first product I found that it doesn't work great on. Oh yeah, Billy, you did it. Coated all this back here, looks great. So yeah, the polishing stuff will get revamped here. We should have in a few weeks, I think, all the new Rupes pads, which I'm excited about. We're going to incorporate a Obsessed Garage Rupes Flex line where they both work together. Somebody's texting me. I hope the feed didn't fall out. Let's see, you guys still here? You still with me? Let's see. Chris's wife, Megan, just sent me a text saying that Chris is choosing to teach his daughter how to wash a car on Father's Day. She said I'd be so proud of him. Yeah, so imagine I'm going to teach us all by me learning how to do mounting and balancing DIY. For all of us to aspire for it. It's, I'll have pricing on it, but it's not cheap. But there are different iterations of it, like you may not want road force, which I couldn't imagine anybody not wanting. But yeah, it's going to be somewhere around 50, 60,000 or something like that to do it. But you have to remember, just like with the Civic with me, you know, for me, it's an investment. I get the stuff that I dream about and want, but then get to provide the world with a little different take, an obsessed level of information, and then I get to have it, which is even better. Like the Civic. I get to have it. I get to have all the cool stuff. So I use this to wipe underneath there, so we won't reuse this one. Yeah, crap. I'm going to have to use glass cleaner. It's all and a funky residue on there. So don't do G1 and B maker, it doesn't work. Don't do that combo. Halo and bead maker, it's working great. So that means I'll polish off that G1 at some point and replace it with Wolf's. Wolf's works extremely well with bead maker. We got to dress the tires. That's the one thing I noticed with the tire dressing is that you gotta really condition the tires. We got to get it up to speed, and then you got to put it on regularly, so it looks better. You just have to maintain it a little bit more, a little more effort. This car looks so good when it's clean. So anyway, Hunter's gonna take a little time because one, I don't have anywhere to put it. Two, I bought too much stuff recently here all at once. I mean, really expensive investments. The Civic, Flex, obviously Milwaukee, all of which I think are gonna make a healthy return, but that return takes a little time to assume. And so I've gotta slow my roll a little bit on getting my Hunter. Plus I don't have anywhere to put it until we move out into the new facility. We moved the shipping operation out to where the building I bought for the gym that I closed. And then we're going to do all the whole new team is moving up there, ramp up production, ramp up shipping speed. The hardest part right now is getting the stuff, having the stuff in stock to be able to ship to you. So keep bearing with us on that. If we have it, it gets shipped. So it's going to require some increased sophistication in our system, in our inventory management system. So that's what we're going to be working on. We should be completely caught up this week, with the exception of a few, orders we're waiting on a product or two. And then we're going to start to execute on our inventory system. If you're not a member of Inside the Hex and you care for this story, I think we have it set up where you can go and just pay for a single month if you wanted to watch this, but I told the story of my exit from wealth management. And entrance into this amazing life I now have. Or get to live stream on a Friday or on a Father's Day to some freaking cool people. Yep, get the jams all clean. Yeah, it's freaking hot. Got these awesome Air King fans, but when I'm with you on video, I can't freaking use them. Doesn't help me. Remember, clean your jams every time, and they'll stay clean forever. Gotta take the leash off. You guys still with me? Yeah. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, it's all slimy. That's no good. I like one of my favorite parts about bead makers. I don't have to use anything else on the glass. We've been a little bit better now that Wolf's has kind of gotten their new ownership under control. It's been in stock more readily. So now there's less of a need to even worry about other products. Oh, Clarity is now, it showed up, so we'll be launching Clarity in a couple of days. All right, last step is clean under here. Then we do the wheels and tires, and we're done. Let's get the bulk of the water off of here. Those Nacaducts hold some water. Just dropped out. So I'm thinking about, I just ordered 2 anti-gravity batteries after I saw my friend Ben from Gears and Gasoline put one in his Civic. It weighs like 12 pounds. So you'd shave like 20 or 25 pounds off the car. Now these have AGM batteries. Maybe someone can make a comment. Does that matter? Can I put one of those in this thing? I don't see why not. All right, Billy, you passed the test. It's all coated here. Looking good. Take my wet towel, wipe out my little Porsche thing. Take a dry towel, wipe the wet off. Done. Nice. Okay, let's dress our tires, wipe off our wheels. And I want to use that Prevost thing. Okay. So, I need some wheel towels. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's move the camera over to the other side. I have more slack. The HDMI this way. Bring a little ISO in. Get you a little brighter. Okay, let's get my seat, some bead maker, and we'll finish up the project here. Ugh, I gotta wipe the glass off. I don't like that at all. That's how you try new stuff. Give it a shot, see how it does. So I just spritz a little bead maker on and just kind of go over the face of the wheels, dry them off. Actually, what might make more sense is if I did the tire dressing first, then did the bead maker. Because then I can wipe off any excess tire dressing that got on there. A couple little nibs that have shown up that I missed. Gosh, these wheels are amazing. Really nice. Shake it up. This is still the prototype bottle. Spray it away from the car, away from the wheel, and apply. Stuff is just good, people. I'm telling you. Just flat out good. You know what's even better? Cup 2s. It's a little bit, I have been driving around the neighborhood here, you know, around the area. You normally see me on video driving around. Car, the combination of the DSC controller, I'm not going to lower it. I'm not messing with it. It's too good. I don't want to mess anything up. I'm going to just leave the car as it is. No lowering, no touching. Can't really lower an RS much anyway. There's not enough fender well room unless you dial in a bunch of camber. I've tried that, doing like a track setup. It's just, I didn't like it at all. I like the OE alignment, OE wheel and tire size. Because remember, these cars have a full adjustable coilover system. Plus, I don't want to hear the 12-year-olds yelling at me about a preload. You messing up the preload, bro. Because they're used to some janky garbage suspension. Dress it. You know what, I'm so surprised how many of these darn Adams, this is the Griots version, it's the same frickin' stool, but the Adams version of the stool sold so frickin' many of these things, it's crazy. I never even talk about it. Something about getting your car clean, tucking it away, and then going inside afterwards and having a big tall glass of water. Wow, these wheels are so good, man. This is so good. Love, absolutely in love. I didn't think I was gonna like them this much. This car is the culmination of everything I've learned about Porsches and detailing and modifications over the last 20 years. let's see, when did I start driving? I was 16, so I'm 40 now, 24 years. Uh-oh. Found a little bit of a high spot on the coating, even though I micromanaged these. Can't tell if that's a high spot or a slight imperfection in the finish. It's really tiny. So I'm hoping that if you guys buy the Flex stuff from me, and we sell a lot of it, Chervon is the parent company of Ego and Flex. And like TTI is the parent company of Milwaukee. So I'm hoping that we have some success with the Flex stuff, and then that'll open it up to having them allow me to buy Ego products. And then I'm hoping that Ego has this super legit battery-powered portable pressure washer. Imagine if it was something that did like 1.5 gallons a minute or something like that. Battery-powered, it'd be freaking incredible. Even if it's sub 1.5 gallons a minute, let's say it's 1.2 or 3 gallons a minute. As long as it was enough output to use with a foam cannon. You know, if it's any indication, watching that leaf blower on turbo mode, I mean, the batteries ought to be able to handle that. Gosh, there's all kinds of nibs that were tucked in the bead that after cleaning with the tire, or cleaning the tires with a tire brush, just pop them out. Now I gotta get a razor blade and chop them off. So what we'll do is we'll leave this dressing on while we fumble around with a couple of other things. And we'll wipe it off in like 20, 30, 40. You could let it sit overnight if you wanted to. But I found that leaving it on there works best. Okay, done. So like having a towel, or after every wheel I wipe out the excess so it doesn't get runny. Let's set this stuff aside. Dang it. You guys still with me? 467 of you. All right. So, oh, super chat. Missed one. Okay. So check out the, so I did the Ubiquity cam right there. See that little guy? Right there. I got another one out front over there. I'm gonna get it set up. All right, let's bring the camera over here. Let's talk a little bit about this Prevost deal. Just something I think is interesting. Making my computer work hard here today. All right, so first thing I got sitting here is I got a 100-foot Pro Lock cord. I want the black one so I can run it out here into the outdoor showcase. I'm gonna hang on to the outdoor showcase a little longer. I was planning on selling it until somebody makes me a reasonable offer on it. I've been parking the GT3 in that one and the M3 or vice versa, so I have the two separate ones to work with. But here is this Prevost thinger. Now this is low pressure, so this is for a garden hose. And so two things we want to play with here. One is this gun, and so it's a pressurization system. It's pretty big. I mean, you can see I've got pretty decent sized hands, and then this is, you know, you can see the size of it in my hand. You know, again, I'm 6'2", so 6'2" sized hands, if you will, you know, XL size hands, and so you can see this is a pretty big thing. Again, it's not for a pressure washer, but I wondered about something like this, if it was viable for, you know, washing cars if you didn't have access to a pressure washer, so use around the house or something like that. Now it has a weird sort of, I think G type, or it might even be 3/4 inch BSPP type or BSP type fitting, and so they send it to me like this, which means that I have to use the Prevost coupler. So I have to use this Prevost thing. Now, the cool thing about these couplers is that they are sealing, meaning that, so if you put the plug in, so it's O-ring sealed, and so if I take this plug and I put it on the end of a hose, and I put it, so I actually brought the wrong type of plug, but if I put it on the end of a hose, then this seals, and so if I pop it loose, there's a membrane in here where it seals off, right? And so this is a nickel-plated brass coupler called an ELS 09, but it's a much higher quality. I'm assuming they're made in France, you know, French-made Prevost, same company that makes all the airline stuff. And so these are something that I was interested in kind of playing with. So I'm going to put this on the end of our garden hose, and we'll plug this thing in and see how it works. So let's bring the garden hose out over here. So let me bring it over this way. Screw this on and see how this thing works. So this is my original Ely hose reel from back at the Brown house. And then, wow, real rusty looking. MTM fitting on here. This might even be pre-MTM. This might be Gilmore. No, it doesn't say MTM, but it looks like the MTM fitting. So this was the original Gtechniq version. The problem is, so I bought this hose for like $240 or something from Adams when they first had them. And this is a 3/4 inch hose, which is too bulky to be useful. But now we do a 5/8 inch hose, which is way better, and we have a much better fitting here that won't leak. Mine never leaked, but some of them leaked when we did the Gtechniq version. Because this has an O-ring, you never want to go too tight. Hope that's tight enough where it won't leak out the side. Might need to get some channel locks. Okay, let's just set that there. I'll bring this camera over here a little bit. I don't want to get the GT3 wet after doing all that work. Let's grab our Prevost gun. It is a nice looking fitting though. Look at that. So, not too bad. Take and plug that in place. That's quite a bit of bulk. Let's see if it shoots across. Let's have it point out that way in case it leaks. This is my original prior hose bib there in the back. I'll try to show it to you. I don't think I can reach the camera. I got a kink somewhere? Shouldn't be. I wonder if there's something that crawled up in here. There we go. And I have to tighten this up. I don't know. I don't see any use for this giant monstrosity. Shoots kind of far. I don't know. Do you see any use for this thing? Yeah, see, that's what the Swiftech hoses were doing. They were leaking from this joint as they got older or abused. Mine never really leaked. I guess now it's older. Moves a lot of water, but I'd rather have the Ely version that's not this big giant thing and have to have special fittings, so scrap that. Check that off the list. We don't need that thing. What else do we got? I think that's it. Let me go check your questions, see if I can answer some questions for you, and we'll wrap it up for the day. I'm dying of thirst. Turn the table around. Excuse the fact that we've got 57 wires all over the place. Grab a stool. So get your questions in if you want to chat a little bit. Let's see what I look like here. Bring the ISO up. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah, you can see me. Cool. All right. Yeah, it looks like a gas pump nozzle. Yeah, I agree. All right, let's see here. Where are my comments? Comments are frozen. Okay, so Ego prototype. Come on, why is this thing not? Pop-up chat's not working here. Yeah, thanks Shannon, appreciate it. Yeah, a big giant joint with water is never any good. So that thing is not good. The blue thing, I'm out. All right, so let's go back up a little bit here. Not able to scroll. Beadmaker likes naked glass. You know, Beadmaker works great on the regular glass. Doesn't matter. Anti-gravity is just a lithium battery, but has circuitry in it to act like a regular lead or AGM battery. Okay, cool. Thanks, Blitz. Appreciate it. When are we getting more Civic content? Civic's off the books for probably the next 3 or 4 weeks because it's gone up to Sound & Motion to get the stereo done. Let's see. Are those Cup 2s or Cup 2Rs? They're Cup 2s. Porsche specific. Excuse me. Somebody said his first version of the press-all bottle, the tip failed. Yeah, that's pretty common on a good 25, maybe 30% of them. Some people had all of theirs fail. Some people had some of them fail. The black ones and the red ones seem to fail more than the others, but we'll have new tips for all those probably in about 6 weeks, I would guess, 6 to 8 weeks. And we're going to stock a whole boatload of them. Finally got around to using the wash package today. When will the wheel and tire package be back in stock? I don't know what we're missing. It's hard. It's like, you know, there's 6 or 7 items in it, and you know, when one goes, because I like to sell everything a la carte for those who want to buy it specifically, and so, you know, it's just sometimes I'm not sure. I said press all's 8 weeks. Okay. Simple microfiber applicator. Where do we go here? This thing's jumping around on me. Rinseless washing, optimum no rinse, or ammo frothy, definitely optimum no rinse. You have water. You have water in a bucket. It's not safer by far. Battery power would be legit. Yeah, agreed. Let's see. Too bulky. Let's see. You drink distilled water. I wouldn't suggest that. Let's see. Did you decide not to stock the Scan Grip Maglite Pro? I don't know what that is, so I didn't choose that option. Ego prototype, so that's the little thing on the end. He'd have to get it made, so I'm not sure where we're at on that. What are your thoughts on wearing Porsche merchandise without owning a Porsche car? I think you'd be more inclined to wear Porsche merchandise if you didn't have one. It's like aspirational. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Again, press all shipments probably 6 to 8 weeks out. Would you still choose the Bigfoot Mark III over the cordless XFE? Yes. So I think having both is nice, but you know, if I have to choose one or the other, I'm definitely going to choose the 15 Mark III. Let's see. OG open house status. We're going to do open house come, I would guess probably August, first week in August. I need probably 3 or 4 weeks to get through all the Milwaukee stuff. We'll probably be, you know, on the other side of the, you know, the pandemic stuff. So I think that's the way to go. Beer of choice, I don't drink, never have. Let's see. What do your kids think about your job? I don't know. I think they're going to have such a leg up on other kids in the future in getting this modeling of me showing kind of how that modeling of doing what you love, they're going to have such an advantage there. Let's see. I heard there's a new K1622 TS. Is that something you came up with? No, the 1622 TS has kind of been in the works for a long time. It's what I originally wanted. And when they told me they could change the wobble plate and get me more flow, that's when we came with the 1322 TS. So the nice thing about the 1622 TS, again, that's not my idea outside of, I mean, I think everybody would have wanted the 1622 TS to turn off. I'm sure it's a response to, you know, the other vendors complaining about not having access to the 1322. But it's an inferior machine, you know, for washing. The video will be up here probably Monday or Tuesday showing the difference between the two. But the 1622 is what you'd want if you don't have access to a 20 amp circuit. We did all the testing, but it did 1.61 gallons per minute versus 2.01. So you'd want the 1322 for sure, and it's $50 cheaper because the 1622 comes with a gun and stuff that you really won't want. If you could keep one car for the rest of your life, what would it be? A GT3 RS for sure. I can drive this thing around everywhere. So, I love the M3, but the GT3 would be the way to go. How long does it take to ship to Europe? If you choose DHL, it'll get there in like 2 days. Would you recommend the Avalon King coating? Absolutely not. Stuff's garbage. It's just a Chinese rebottled, marketing machine. So no, do not use that stuff. You spend $20 more and get Gtechniq. Let's see. How do I maintain paint when I can't garage my car? You just do it the same. I'd just wash it more often. Just wash it and keep it clean and know that it's going to rain on it and all that stuff. I would probably have a car cover so that way after the wash I could cover it so at least for one day and one night it would sit clean. But don't put the car cover on unless the car's clean. Is the PPF job on this RS better than the prior one? Yeah, it's probably a little better. I mean, Dan was newer to PPF. He was maybe a year and a half in. Ryan's been doing it for 20 plus years, so it's sort of an unfair comparison. But both PPF on both the esoteric version and this are pretty fantastic. So. Again, I talked about there's edges and things that you have to deal with a white car that you can see. Get out of here, fly. But, they're both great. What spray are you using as a drying aid in a red bottle? That was P&S Bead Maker. Would you consider buying another M3 or another M5 with the S55 engine if you had equal length exhaust on it? Completely fixes the exhaust sound. No. I don't think it completely fixes it, but it does improve it. I've heard a bunch of videos on it, so I'd still rather not have the S55 because it just doesn't sound great. How do you deal with water spots on your coated cars with a typical 3 p.m. showers? Usually I don't get them from rain. I find in Florida we have this balance where you have that crazy 3 p.m. storm and the sun doesn't come out right away. So usually, it's so humid, it evaporates pretty quickly. So I've never really had huge problems with water spots from that. Are you using Logitech MX keys for your desktop setup? No, I'm using the, let's see. I'll just keep jumping on me. I'm using the Mac stuff. I don't use it all day, every day, or otherwise I probably would. The thing I don't like about the Logitech stuff is I have to have that little dongle thing I have to plug into my laptop, which I don't like. So, do you still use the IK sprayers? No, I punted them all in the trash. Matt, are you going to do a cheap air compressor testing? I don't know about cheap, but yeah, I'll probably also try to find one that's a little bit more price friendly than the $1,800 little ones. Are you hiring out of state? I did hire a bunch of people from out of state, but I don't have any spots right at the moment. Built Hamburg is not available here in the U.S. Let's see. Dallas, any talks of having a piece on the OG site or some other means of getting members together, even if it's organized by them, not structured through OG? I mean, we kind of have that with the Facebook group already. What are your thoughts on the new 911 Turbo S? With a GT3, I just don't, unless I was commuting, and then I'd rather have a regular 911 like Carrera S or Carrera GTS over the Turbo. Although the new cars are now all turbo, so you probably want to go to the Turbo S if you could. But, I don't, I'd rather have a GT3. Would you ever get an NSX or do a giveaway? Maybe the new NSX, but not the old one. I don't know, that was never a car that was in my wheelhouse. What's another way to clean pads when you're done polishing? You don't have a compressor. Well, you'd clean your pads. You could use your brush, turn the machine on and brush it out. You could use a vacuum cleaner. You're going to mess up your vacuum. You kind of suck it out. I would just brush it after every pass, and then I would just use pads more often. Then you clean it. I like to clean the pads with Micro Restore is my preference. So I take Micro Restore, I dilute it 50-50, and I use Dawn first to get all the stuff out of the pads, and then to get the Dawn residue out of the pads, then I use Micro Restore. Let's see, if I don't have any soap to wash my car today, would some form of shampoo work? No, don't do that. Just go to Walmart and get some. If I buy a warehouse, can I run Canadian distribution? No, unless you want to work for me. The stainless steel Cox reel stringer for $90 coming back in stock soon. Cox reel stringer. Yes, we should have them in a couple of weeks. He's asking about the stainless steel bracket. Let's see, let me just go back to the bottom here. The problem with doing this live is that it jumps on you and I lose my spot. Let's see, what are your final thoughts on Optimum Car Wash? I know you said it's clearly less residue when rinsing. I don't know about clearly. Adams is still a little bit better, tiny bit better, but it's good. OGSpec sub enclosure for the Civics. I don't know what they're going to do. The sub enclosure for the Civic's going to go in the spare tire well. I'm going to take the spare tire out. 2 Illusion 10s. We're going to make it look real OE-like. So I'm not 100% sure what they're going to do. Do you plan on selling Solution Finish? I don't know. I've just never been super in love with it. But I probably should get it in the store. It's something you need to have, I think, in your arsenal. What do you think of the new Rupes compounds? I haven't used them yet. When will the next shipment containing the 5 pallets of Makita tools arrive? Makita, I'm sure the Makita will come calling at some point here. Any update on the garage giveaway winner? Yeah, we booked, Emmanuel's coming down, I think it's July 17th. So we're gonna shoot videos on what we're planning, what we're gonna do, and then probably second, third week of August, depending on how quickly we can get all the products, is when Mike and I are gonna go do it. Will your decon soap take off Chemical Guy's jet seal? Yeah, they'll put a dent in that. What's the story behind the esoteric fallout? There really isn't a fallout. We just, they weren't interested in selling me stuff, and I was interested in starting my own thing, and so we just kind of went our separate ways. How far is OG Canada? I'd say 5 years. I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm like, I need to build the OG Canada from the United States collapses so I can move to Canada and still run my operation up there. So I need to get moving on that. Do you live in the Villages? I live in Lady Lake, which is the same town as one of the sections of the Villages, but I don't technically live in the Villages proper, but yeah, I'm in the Villages, Florida. What do you recommend for car security in the UK so you can't exactly have a gun? I don't know, man. I'm not an expert in that. I'd probably do a dash cam. Let's see. Thoughts on the 2020 Lotus Evora? I haven't seen that yet. I've never been a big Lotus guy. I'm too big for them. How do you take care of rust spots on a car? I'd probably have that panel repainted. What do you think about the BMW F90 M5? It's cool. I don't like the fact that it's a ZF automatic. So, I mean, there's character about dual clutches. I think it's better, even though technically the ZF is faster. CarPro products, Jim H asks, what do you think of CarPro? I think CarPro's great. How do you know if you're getting the benefit from a coating or bead maker if you put bead maker on after every wash? Do you really know what the durability of CXO is? I don't know. I don't think it really matters. It just works. When we have an OG app someday, hopefully someday in the next couple of years. Matt, are you still working on a track day skills? No, not really. I don't really care about that. I feel like I drive well enough to be dangerous, so I mean, I'll be on the track once or twice more in the next couple of years, but not a big deal. Let's see. That's about it. I'm losing my voice here. Any updates on finding good spray bottles? Yeah, version 3 of the Pressols. There'll be And labels will be soon as well. So I would say we'll have labels and bottles in the next 8 weeks. So anyway, thanks for being a part of it today, people. Appreciate you watching. And 439 of you current, and lots of views. So thanks for watching. RS is clean, looks good. I'll wipe the tire dressing off here in a few minutes, clean up my mess, and I'm gonna go get a drink of water. Catch you on the next one. If I can end the stream. Looks like Shelly's going to get the sushi. We're stuck. Frozen. Let's open up a new tab and see if that gets us moving here. Maybe I should keep talking to you while I'm trying to click end stream. Computer's probably overheating here. It's working super hard. YouTube Studio.